What if everything you have been chasing is what is actually keeping you from feeling truly and fully fulfilled? All right, first video on YouTube, let's go. A very small percentage of entrepreneurs actually feel fulfilled. And that might come as a surprise to you because many of us set out on the path of entrepreneurship to have more fulfillment, to have a sense of purpose. And we thought that we could accomplish that by making more money, by traveling the world, by having designer handbags, speaking on stages, going viral, having an endless amount of flexibility and time freedom. And yet, many of us have some of those things, maybe all of those things. And we still have a feeling of lack on the inside. We still have a sense of dread and emptiness on the inside of us. It feels like something is missing. Even though by all accounts, what the world will say, we should have made it, we should have arrived, even though other people on the outside looking in will say, man, she's made it. She's arrived, like she's doing the thing. Behind closed doors, we are like, but am I? Is this what it's supposed to feel like? For the sake of clarity, let's actually add a definition to fulfillment. What does fulfillment truly mean? Simply put, it's a deep sense of contentment and purpose. How many of you feel truly content every day when you wake up? Every night when your head hits the pillow? How many of you feel like you are living up to your larger purpose on this planet? It's a small percentage of people. And I believe that one of the biggest reasons why we are lacking contentment, we are lacking this sense of purpose, is because we have been moving through obsession instead of devotion. We have become so obsessed with our career. We're hyper-fixated on our goals, our aspirations, the dollar signs in the spreadsheets. We're so hyper-fixated and obsessed with our career, and it's created an imbalance in our life. Being devoted looks different. Devotion brings balance, harmony, a sense of selflessness into the picture. So, what is devotion? Y'all are going to learn I love definitions. Devotion defined is ardent, often selfless affection, loyalty, and dedication to a person, activity, or cause. One of the core things of being devoted, themes, I should say, is a sense of selflessness. If I'm honest, I became an entrepreneur for selfish reasons. I wanted more money. I wanted to travel. I wanted freedom. I wanted my life to look and feel a certain way. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not saying that you can't have desires and want a different life and create immense amounts of wealth. I actually believe that that's part of our call. I believe that we are designed to prosper. But I also believe that we are designed to contribute. That we're designed to be of value, that we are designed to bring solutions into the earth. And that should be our biggest motivation for being in business. That should fuel our entrepreneurial path. Obsession is self-fulfilling, but devotion is selfless commitment. And there's a different level of fulfillment that we get access to within each of these categories. You get so much more fulfillment when you are operating from selfless commitment. And notice too that this isn't just in your business, although I know I'm talking to a room full of powerful business owners and entrepreneurs with big aspirations and goals. But devotion applies to every area of your life. That is the point of this conversation. Our gaze cannot be so fixated on our career, on our business, that we forget to actually build a full life. Because you know what? That full life fuels the leader behind your business. It impacts how the business moves, grows, and scales over time. This conversation matters because when we lack fulfillment, there is a direct impact on your business. There is often a delay in growth, a stall in growth, because the person behind the business is not truly fulfilled. So if you're an entrepreneur at the beginning, middle, or late stages of your journey, and you want to feel more fulfilled every day, maybe you have immense amounts of success. Maybe you're on the path to getting some of the things you desire. This conversation is for those of you that want a true sense of fulfillment beyond just money in the bank, because you know that that is not only going to have a direct impact on how your business grows, how you contribute to the world, but also how you live your life every single day. Those are the moments that's the 80%, y'all. The jet planes and speaking on stages and, successful launches, that's the 20%. The 80% is the everyday. It's the mundane Mondays. So if you are living for that small percentage, you are missing out on part of your purpose on this planet. Because your purpose is so much more than just your career. So what is causing this? Ultimately, our culture, social media, and I would even argue the female empowerment movement has created several problems in our entrepreneurial space. The first is that a counterfeit version of success has been glamorized. You know what it looks like? We own jet planes. We sipping margaritas on the beach while Cash App notifications are coming through on our phone. We're kicking back. We're relaxing. We're making lots of money. We're a boss babe. We're doing it. We've arrived. And although I don't think all of those things are bad, I don't think the aspiration to speak on a stage and create wealth and even have a jet plane is a bad thing. But if that is your sole motivation, you will never live up to your larger potential and your larger purpose on this planet, because those are selfish aspirations. I don't even think that sometimes selfish is always a bad thing. Sometimes, many times, of course, it is. But I think that we have an opportunity to have desires for ourselves. I think that desires have been planted inside each of us that we should pursue. But what I'm getting at here is that those things cannot drive your larger mission. They cannot be what you wake up and look at on your vision board every single day. Because you will arrive at that place and you will feel hollow on the inside. You will feel completely empty. And I will raise my hand to say I've been there. I'll raise my hand first to say I have been there. And I bring this conversation to you from a stance of I get it. I'm not coming at you. I'm preaching to myself here as well. And many times, unfortunately, what happens, especially in our society today where social media is so prevalent, we end up pursuing desires that were never really ours. How many of you can relate? I know I can. I firmly believe that the presence of a desire in your heart is proof of your ability to actualize it. But that desire has to be truly your own. It can't be borrowed from someone else. That's not your path. That's not your call. It's not the assignment, sis. You have to pursue the desires that are innate to you. And it makes it really hard to know what you truly desire when you are consuming everyone else's perfectly curated life every single day. The second problem that's been created is a hyper independence has been sold as empowerment. The boss babe identity has become a badge of honor, but underneath that persona that looks super successful is a lie. That you have to do it all, be it all, and need nobody. I don't care who you are, what industry you're in. You cannot grow and scale a business on your own island. You can run lean, and I love a lean business model, truly. But going it alone, that's not the path. You need other people. Even if you are leveraging AI to its fullest potential, you need other people. You cannot be isolated. That's how you get lost, and that definitely stalls your growth. It's not empowering to say that you're just self-made, self-taught, you've done everything by yourself. And how often do we see that narrative online? I'm a self-made boss babe. Are you? And if you are, then how much further are you going to grow that way? Why do we feel like it is a badge of honor to say, I am self-made? None of us are self-made. I was created by God, put on this planet, raised by two parents. I got a sister. I got a community behind me. I got clients. I got mentors. I got peers. I am not self-made. And neither are you. It is not a badge of honor. It's a lie. Isolation is nothing to be proud of. The third problem that's been created: appearances started to matter more than reality. We start to live for the feed, for the grid, for how people perceive us. And then our life becomes a performance because we're trying to keep people happy. We're trying to manage perception. We're trying to be recognized for the powerful, self-made woman that we are. And we began living in order to create these curated perceptions. And that's not a life. That's not real. And this has perpetuated a cycle of always showing up but never arriving. You're on a hamster wheel. You reach one thing, it's not enough. I gotta go for more. You reach the next thing, it's not enough. I gotta go for more. I gotta show the world that I'm successful. I have to look a certain way. And maybe it's for the perception of others. Maybe it's for the dopamine hit that you get at that point of arrival. And you aren't content in the in-between, which is the 80% of your life, and that's part of the problem. We're gonna get to that. But the result of all of this is that you've built a career. You've reached a level of success, but you aren't fulfilled. You've got money in the bank. You've got trips on the calendar, but you aren't fulfilled. And that's a problem. That's creating a direct negative impact on your business. When your identity becomes your business, every milestone you hit just leaves you hungrier for the next. It's never enough. Because when you aren't achieving, you don't feel worthy. When you aren't succeeding, you don't feel worthy. When you aren't leveling up, you don't feel worthy. But fulfillment doesn't come from accomplishing more. Fulfillment comes from living as a whole person, a whole woman beyond her career, beyond her work. When your career is out of order relative to the rest of your life, there is no room left for the things that actually fill you up. Your relationship with the Lord, your family, your marriage, your children, your hobbies, your travel. There's no room. It cannot possibly all fit into the picture because everything is out of order. So imagine with me for a second, you have in front of you a jar, you have a stack of rocks, you have a stack of pebbles, and then you have a little pile of sand. Your goal is to fit all of these items into the jar. The most important note here is that the order in which you put things into the jar matters, and it determines whether or not they will all fit. So if you do it correctly, you're going to put the rocks in first. From there, you're going to put the smaller pebbles in, and all of that remaining space in between the rocks, you're going to shake the jar and those pebbles are going to settle in. And then the last thing you add is the sand. And again, you're going to shake the jar and that sand is going to fill the remaining space to where it all fits. If you try to do that backwards and put the sand in first, that's going to fill like a quarter to a halfway of the jar. It's too dense for the pebbles and the rocks to fit. Everything is out of order. So I want you to think of the rocks being like those top priorities of life. Pebbles are secondary and sand is tertiary. And I know that many arguments can be made for what makes up a truly fulfilling life, but I have categorized this into 3 different categories. The first being, think of this as your rocks. This is connection. So this is your relationship with God, with your family, your spouse, kids, friends, even peers, mentors. We are relational beings. We crave connection. So again, if you are isolated, if you are wearing self-made as a badge of honor, if you're on your own island, you are not going to feel fulfilled. You're going to feel stressed. You're going to feel alone. The second thing here, and think of this as your pebbles, this is labor. And this is not just your career. There's a lot of different things that we labor over in our life, that we steward, that we put our hands to, whether that's your garden, it's your health, it's working out, it's creating nourishing meals for yourself, it's your home life, your finances, your personal growth. And then the final category is rest. So of course, this can be true rest where you take a day off, you take a sabbatical. It could be beach time. This can also be hobbies and travel. This is the things that fuel you, that pour into you. And these are the things that make up a truly fulfilling life. And yet many of us have our 80% focus on not just labor, but our career within the labor category. One of the biggest problems is that we have made labor equate to purpose. But you are not your business, and your purpose is far greater than your business. It's far greater than your career. It's a part of the picture. It's one piece of the larger puzzle. Your purpose, calling, assignment extends so far beyond your business. It's pursuing God. It's mothering. It's pouring into the relationships in your life, your marriage, fostering your home, loving others well, stewarding your body, your mind, your spirit, stewarding your season faithfully. Your purpose is not your work. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you can put your life back in order and start to have that sense of fulfillment. Because you know you are not your business. Your career is not your purpose. It's a part of your purpose. When I started my business, I felt like my purpose was my business. It was being a 7th generation entrepreneur. It was making a ton of money. And then 4 or 5 years in, I realized that I felt so empty. And it just wasn't doing it for me. And I embarked on a season of getting our home, renovating our home with my husband, becoming a mother. And those two things alone have completely shaken things up in my life and required that I put things in a certain order to where I feel like a whole person again. And you know what? When you feel like a whole person, you have a whole heck of a lot more to give to your business. You have a whole heck of a lot more to throw at your goals intentionally, purposefully, because you're whole. You aren't hyper fixated on one tiny aspect of your life. So the shift that we have to make here is replacing obsession with devotion. It's choosing to live life as a whole person. It's realizing that the money in your bank account, the jet planes, the trips on your calendar, speaking on stages, those things alone will never fully fulfill you. They're a part of the assignment. And if you start to idolize them, if you put them on altars, then your life becomes a constant chase for those things so that you feel like you are worthy, so that you feel like you are successful. And you're spinning your wheels trying to feel fulfilled, doing something that is a small, teeny tiny percentage of your purpose and how you're called to live your life. We're called to steward all sorts of areas of our life. That's true success, is when all of these things come together. For me, it's been having a beautiful marriage with a partner that calls me higher, that believes in me. It's honoring my relationship with the Lord, pursuing that every day. It's pausing to be a mom even when I have work to do. And then it's pouring into my career and my work and being here with you. But it is not just the latter. It's all of those things together. Because as humans, we are wired for connection. We crave it. And as women, I believe that runs even deeper. We are relational beings. We are meant to be relational. We're meant to have a life that is rich in connection, that goes far beyond just your selfish desires, but actually leans into the devotion to others, the devotion to a people group, the devotion to a larger cause. That is how we live fulfilled. The goal here is not creating a business that you can escape to the beach from, or you have your margarita, or you're like me and you're crazy psycho and you drink hot coffee on the beach in the summer because I just love it. And you have all of those Cash App notifications coming onto your phone. You got a lot of money in your bank account. That's not the goal. It's living life as a whole person. It's putting your life in order. It's realizing that there is a direct correlation between how fulfilled you are and how successful your business can be. And listen, I'm not saying that you go and you just take a sabbatical for all of eternity and you expect your desires to come to you. I don't believe in that. I believe in hard work. I believe in commitment. I believe in stewardship, stewarding your season, stewarding what's in front of you, putting your hands to the work in front of you. But I also believe in having your life in proper order, having a sense of harmony. Not necessarily balance, but a sense of harmony that's working in your life so that you can be full and your business can have the true leader that it is called to have in order to succeed. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you for being here. Your presence means so much. I hope this brought you value. I hope this blessed you today, and I'll catch you in the next one.